Hey, good morning, everybody. I wanted to talk a little bit this morning about my writing process. Some of you know that I'm working on books on 1st and 2nd Samuel and also on Zephaniah, and wanted to talk a little bit about how I'm managing both projects. One of the reasons I like writing on two books of the Bible at the same time is that, my brain sometimes gets into overload focusing on just one book, and I kind of feel like sometimes I need a break. The problem is, in the past, when I've taken such a break without writing on something else, sometimes I'll go a long time before I pick that original project back up. And so the benefit of writing on two books at the same time is that it gives my brain the ability to switch gears a little bit and focus on something else. What I'm doing currently is writing on Zephaniah in the morning and then focusing on 1st and 2nd Samuel in the mid-morning or afternoon or even evening based on what my schedule is for that day. For Zephaniah, my plan is very simple. I write on one verse every day. That's it, just one verse. And obviously that works well with shorter books such as Zephaniah and many of the other minor prophets, Philemon, 1st, 2nd, 3rd John, etc. Because if you focus on just one verse a day, it's just a matter of 2, maybe 3 months that you can finish a book on one of those books of the Bible. And I wanted to point that out because it's illustrative of my approach to writing. It's important when you think about how you want to tackle a book project. You can't think of it in terms of I'm going to write a 200-page book, I'm going to write a 60,000 word book, because it's hard for your brain to wrap itself around that, and it's hard to stay motivated to accomplish such a huge goal. Instead, you have to break it down into small micro goals. That's the only way you ever get to 60,000 words, which equals about 200 pages, or even something like 400 plus pages that my King's book was, and Samuel's going to end up being. You have to focus on micro goals. And so when you think about, say, Zephaniah, I'm just going to write on one verse today. It might be 300 words, it might be 500 words, it might be over 700 words, but I'm just going to write on one verse. Well, obviously, that kind of work and consistency eventually adds up. Now, I'm focusing on more than one verse a day with 1st and 2nd Samuel. If I only did one verse a day, I'd be working on it for much longer than I really wanted to. But I have broken down 1st and 2nd Samuel into manageable chunks. Some days I write on 5 verses, some days I write on 10 verses, but I have divided the entire portion of Samuel into small micro chunks. Average about a chapter usually gets divided up into 2 or 3, sometimes 4 different sections that I will focus on at any one time. I do all of the reading for that section, and I'm drafting my comments on it as I read through various commentaries and other resources. But the key here is, if you want to tackle something big, such as a whole book project, you've got to reduce it down to micro goals that are attainable. That's the only way the project will be sustainable. And once you develop a habit of doing that, you can then tackle 2 projects at the same time and allow your brain to switch gears and work on one type of literature here, like Samuel, work on a different type of literature over here, like Zephaniah, etc. I hope some of this advice is helpful to you if you're a writer or someone that is looking to produce content on a regular basis, or even if you're just curious about how the book writing process it happens. It's always different from one author to the next, but this is a process that I found very helpful to me. So I hope you're having a wonderful day, and just wish me luck as I continue working on these 2 books of the Bible. God bless you.